Hello everyone. Today I'm back with the explanation of a sci-fi adventure movie that was released in 2014. In this film, we'll see the relentless efforts of a group of scientists, the mysteries hidden in outer space, a dying Earth, humanity's struggle for survival, and some deeply emotional moments centered around family. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into the story. The movie begins by introducing us to a man named Cooper. He wakes up from a nightmare, something from the days when he used to be a NASA pilot. In the dream, he screams out, and right then, his daughter Murph wakes up and rushes to her father, trying to pull him out of that terrifying state. Cooper and his family live in a small farmhouse. They grow all their own crops because humanity is on the brink of collapse. With natural resources running out, everyone is fighting just to survive. One morning, Cooper heads out with his kids in the truck. Suddenly, they spot a surveillance drone flying overhead. Cooper quickly hacks into it using his computer and brings it under his control. He lands it on the ground and removes a few of its parts to use for his own work. Later at home, Cooper hears strange noises coming from Murph's room. When he goes in, he finds that a few books have fallen off the shelf. Murph tells him this has been happening repeatedly, and she believes a ghost might be trying to communicate with her. Cooper then discusses the matter with his father-in-law, Donald. Cooper thinks this must be some kind of gravitational anomaly. A few days later, the family goes out to watch a baseball game. Suddenly, the match is stopped, and the stadium is cleared because a massive dust storm begins rolling over the city. The dust quickly becomes intense, so Cooper rushes his family back home. When they arrive, they see Murph accidentally left her window open. Cooper runs upstairs to close it, but right then he notices something strange. Dust patterns have formed on the floor in the shape of lines. He realizes it's actually a binary code showing specific coordinates. That same night, Cooper and Murph follow those coordinates. After driving for a long time through the dark, they reach a hidden NASA facility. As soon as they enter, a robot captures them, but eventually they are released. Inside, they finally get to speak with Dr. Brand and his team, including his daughter, Amelia Brand. And slowly we understand that these people have been secretly working for years to find a way, any way, to save the human race from extinction. Dr. Brand talks to Cooper and trusts everything he says. Cooper was once a skilled pilot, and Brand has been working for years on a secret plan. He wants to send a spaceship through a wormhole that suddenly appeared near Saturn, something they learned about only after years of research. If they travel through that wormhole, they'll reach another galaxy. And in that galaxy, there are 3 exoplanets that might be suitable for human life. If even one of them is habitable, they plan to move as many people as possible from Earth to that new world, so humanity can survive. But if Plan A fails, they also have a Plan B. In that case, they'll send essential supplies along with human embryos to the new planet, ensuring that even if the current population can't be saved, the human species will continue. Meanwhile, back home, Murph desperately doesn't want her father to leave, but Cooper knows he can't ignore this responsibility. Before leaving, Cooper gives Murph a watch, an identical copy of the one he has. But Murph, hurt and angry, refuses to say goodbye. Within a few days, Cooper and his crew begin their journey into space. Along with them are 2 robots, Tars and Case. The crew successfully docks their ship to a massive space station, which will carry them toward the wormhole near Saturn. Later, they contact Dr. Brand through a video call. Brand explains that a scientist named Dr. Mann was sent years earlier to one of the exoplanets, but they haven't received any communication from him in a very long time. The spaceship slowly approaches a gigantic black hole, and then the moment arrives. The terrifying jump through the wormhole. Even though they're nervous, the crew stays confident and pushes forward. During the jump, Amelia feels as if she's seeing some strange unknown creature floating outside the ship. She believes there's some higher species whom she calls they, trying to guide and help them. According to Amelia, these beings, they, were the same ones who communicated with Cooper on Earth through the dust patterns and coordinates, guiding him to NASA's secret base. After crossing the wormhole, Cooper immediately starts calculating their next steps. Their first destination is one of the exoplanets orbiting near the black hole Gargantua. Soon the crew separates a smaller ship from their main station, the Ranger, and heads toward the planet. Cooper's intense piloting makes everyone nervous, but he manages to land the Ranger safely. And the moment they step outside, they are shocked. The entire planet is covered in water. Endless water. While exploring, Case discovers a beacon left behind by the previous mission. Amelia tries to retrieve their data, but suddenly a massive tidal wave begins forming behind them. Within seconds, the enormous wave crashes down on them. Amelia and Case manage to run back to the Ranger in time, surviving the impact. But Doyle isn't so lucky. The wave swallows him, killing him instantly. To make things worse, water floods the Ranger's engine, disabling it. Cooper gets angry at Amelia. If she hadn't delayed them to collect the data, they could have escaped before the wave hit. Minutes later, another giant wave approaches, but Cooper manages to lift the Ranger into the air and escape just in time. They eventually make it back to their main station, where Romilly, who stayed behind, meets them. They inform him that Doyle is gone. But there's another problem. Time has passed differently near Gargantua. What felt like hours for the crew was years on Earth. Cooper receives multiple video messages from his son Tom, who is now an adult. Tom even has a child of his own. He also tells Cooper that Donald has passed away. Then Cooper receives a long-awaited message from Murph, who still hasn't forgiven him for leaving. Even he has a child of his own. He informs Cooper that Donald has died. Then Cooper receives a video from his daughter Murph, who has been angry at her father for a long time. According to Earth's time, 25 years have passed since Cooper left. But today is Murph's birthday, and on this special day she wanted to record a video for her father. On Earth, in the present time, the adult Murph is now working with Dr. Brand. They are trying to solve a complex gravitational equation which, if successful, could save humanity. Meanwhile, in space, a new dilemma arises for the crew. They can't decide which of the two exoplanets they should visit first. One of the planets is sending a signal from a scientist named Dr. Mann, and the other planet seems more promising, according to the data collected from Gargantua. In the end, they decide to head toward Dr. Mann's planet. Back on Earth, Murph goes to visit Tom and his wife at their farm. Tom tells her that every year he is losing a larger portion of his crops. On top of that, his son is suffering from a severe coughing problem because of the dusty environment. After hearing all this, Murph goes to see Dr. Brand in the hospital. Dr. Brand tells her that he is sorry for disappointing everyone. But Murph reassures him, saying that she will try her best to finish the work he started. Even then, Dr. Brand has already lost hope. He admits that there is no plan A anymore, that humans can never be relocated to another planet, and the gravitational equation will never be solved. Meanwhile, Cooper and his crew land on Dr. Mann's planet. There, they find an icy and frozen environment. After a while, they discover a base and a capsule where Dr. Mann had placed himself in cryosleep. As soon as they wake him, Mann bursts into tears, because he has come back to life after so many years. He explains that all his fuel had run out, and the last time he put himself into cryosleep, he didn't even set a wake-up date. Mann takes them on a tour outside and tells them that on this planet a full day lasts 67 hours, and the night also lasts 67 hours. Even though the temperature here is extremely cold, he claims there is land beneath the surface, and that breathable air is forming underneath it. According to him, this could be the habitable planet humanity has been searching for. Their discussion is interrupted when they receive a message from Earth. Murph reports that Dr. Brand has died and accuses them of leaving Earth for nothing. Mann supports Murph's claim, saying that Dr. Brand had actually solved his equation 25 years ago. This means Dr. Brand wasn't honest with Cooper, or even with his own daughter. Although the gravitational equation has more components, those can only be understood with additional data, and that data is only accessible from inside a black hole. Back on Earth, Murph realizes the same thing, but she has no way of seeing inside a black hole. Meanwhile, on the exoplanet, Cooper begins to feel that there is no point in staying so far away from Earth without the people he loves. So Cooper plans to fire up the Ranger and return to Earth. But before he can do anything, Mann pushes him off a cliff and reveals that all his data was fake. This planet isn't habitable, and neither is Earth. His only goal was to gain control of the space station and use it to search for another planet. Meanwhile, Mann cracks Cooper's helmet visor, making it nearly impossible for Cooper to breathe. Using his comms, Cooper contacts Amelia, and she rushes to find him, helping him breathe just in time. Elsewhere, Romilly opens one of the data cases, but it was rigged as a trap. It explodes instantly, killing him on the spot. At the same time, Mann steals a ship and tries to dock with the space station. But his docking procedure fails, and when he opens the hatch, the pressure inside the airlock destabilizes. This triggers a massive explosion, sending the entire space station spinning out of control. Seeing this, Cooper decides to attempt a dangerous manual docking in order to slow the station down. With help from the robots, he stabilizes the spacecraft using the thrusters and even manages to pull it out of the exoplanet's orbit. But despite their success, the station has no fuel left. Not only can they not return to Earth, they can't go anywhere at all. That's when Cooper comes up with a plan. He will push the station just enough to slip it into Gargantua's critical orbit, then they'll use whatever little fuel they have left to slingshot around the black hole. This maneuver will give them enough momentum to break through the wormhole and return to their own galaxy. They begin the slingshot maneuver, pushing the station toward Gargantua. But Cooper doesn't tell Amelia that he plans to detach one of the modules, leaving himself to fall into the black hole. The spacecraft is completely torn apart, forcing Cooper to eject. Drifting uncontrollably, Cooper eventually ends up inside a 5-dimensional tesseract. Inside this strange dimension, he looks around and realizes he can see into his daughter's room, across time. But Murph cannot see him. This means that the mysterious ghost, people thought was some kind of gravitational anomaly, was actually Cooper himself. He tries to send a message by knocking the books off the shelf, arranging them into letters using Morse code. These were the very things he had done in the past, and now adult Murph, sitting in her room, begins to recognize the pattern. Murph decodes the signals and realizes that it was her father who had been sending her those messages all along. Cooper then forms a remarkable plan. He understands that if he uses the watch he gave Murph, he can send Morse code through its ticking. Using the tesseract, he manipulates gravity and transmits the message across space and time. Finally, Murph solves the gravitational equation, and Cooper emerges from the wormhole. Some astronauts rescue him, and he wakes up in a medical cabin, inside a massive interstellar arc. This habitat was built using the equation Murph solved, the very solution that saved humanity from extinction. In the end, Cooper finally reunites with his daughter, but now he finds her as an elderly woman. Murph thanks her father for saving humanity and tells him that whenever she used to say her father was always helping her, no one ever believed her. Now Cooper has only one task left: to go find Amelia, who is still the same age she was at the beginning of the movie, just like Cooper once was. And with that, the movie comes to an end. The film is a bit complex, but I tried my best to break it down in the simplest way possible. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in a brand new video. Until then, bye-bye.